All right, it's time for what we do every year, which is we put together our lists of what we think the top 5 movies are going to be at the box office worldwide. Um, I believe that Andrew won the first time we did it, and then last year I won. Um,
Yeah, I think
um,
Furiosa screwed me over. I think is what.
Yeah, I think both times they're always close. It's just there's something that blows the doors off the place that we're not expecting. Who knows? Maybe Megan 2 is gonna just crush it, smash success.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah, you laugh, but I or make fun, but I think that movie could make some money.
Okay,
People
okay.
people have that movie came out like the same year as Lilo and Stitch, and that movie's going to make a lot of money from what
True.
everyone seems to think. So I I don't uh, I would not I will not underestimate women seeing movies sent after Barbie. I will not underestimate uh, ladies
That's
going out
true.
and see movies. I
That's
mean,
true.
like those Bad Moms movies made like $300 million, like $200 million. Like
Yeah.
they can make money with just women.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I think people of our generation are probably going to see that movie. Um, that being said, I doubt that's on your list, and it's not on my list. So,
Nope. Let's get
all
into it.
right. So we'll start with number 5. I think the number 5 movie of the summer. Well, the one that just dropped out of my top 5 is Fantastic Four because
Oh,
that one is too much of a wild card for
too
me.
risky. Okay.
It's a wild card for me, but to be honest, both of these are wild cards for me because I don't know how Mission Impossible is going to do. Um,
Okay.
I because a couple years ago I thought it was going to be a huge movie, and then it got demolished by
Hey.
Barbenheimer there. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, so I'm skittish this time. Actually, I
Well,
think we might have done this
what's
three
your
times
number
now.
5?
My number 5 is Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That
The
is on my
Final
list.
Reckoning. Okay,
So,
we'll talk about that later.
yeah,
Um,
here in a second. My number 5, I did put Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. Okay, interesting. So we're gonna have a different list then.
Yes.
Different 5. Cool. What did you say? Your number 5 was Fantastic Four. So we can talk about
Yes.
Fantastic Four, but I mean, we just talked about this not too long ago.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it might not have much like length in the theater. We'll see. Um, and I'm curious what you have above everything else that you were talking about. So, hmm, yeah.
My number 4 is How to Train Your Dragon. Um, I just think it looks
Huh.
good, and I
Okay.
think people are going to take their families to see it. Um, I just I think that anybody like I think How to Train Your Dragon is one of those animated kids movies that like parents would not be hate watching with their kid. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
a
It's on
million
my
times.
list.
It definitely. I think that that movie is a well done movie, and I would assume that putting it in a live action and it doesn't look like crap, that people will go and see it. Um, Now I think it's still going to be a like a middle, like a 500 $600 million movie. I'm not thinking like $1 billion picture.
All right. I completely disagree. I think this is making 800 is what I'm hoping.
Well, yeah, I know
But
you're gonna hope that it makes a lot of money.
I
I saw
know
your list, so
I genuinely think I will be surprised if it doesn't get up there. I think there's a ton of hype behind the whole series in general. And I think I know you're saying it's kind of early, but I don't think it's actually that early. Um, I think it's pretty good timing. Maybe you could have waited like 2, 3 more years, But no, I think it's good timing.
Yeah, 15 years exactly. First How to Train Your Dragon came out in 2010. Um, let me. I want to. I'm gonna double check on when that third movie came out, how much money it made. Um, what's your number four?
My number 4 is Mission Impossible.
Okay. Uh, okay. So you thought Mission Impossible was gonna do well.
Yeah, I think
Um,
this one has more breathing room this time, which is why I have it a little higher on the list.
How to Train Your Dragon 3 made $538 million. Hmm.
Yeah, and that's probably the worst one off the top of my
Oh
head.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you still regret that choice there? No take
I
backsies.
I mean I you're so dumb. That's funny. Uh yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I just it's the same movie, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. To be honest, making this list was kind of hard because I feel like there's like a bunch of
There's a bunch of big hitters this summer. Yeah,
well, there's big hitters, but it's also they're big hitters that could also, if the movie sucks, then
yeah,
it could drop like a rock. There's movies that you think in theoretical world that they would do well. You would think a Snow White theoretically could do well on paper,
okay.
but then
Hmm.
I mean, like what Beauty and the Beast did a billion. I mean,
Yeah. Well, Snow White doesn't sing, a tale as old as time.
mm,
That's what Beauty and the Beast does. Uh,
yeah. Well, actually, neither of them sang that song, but yeah,
oh, really? They all,
yeah. It's the
who?
teapot that sings "Tale is the Beauty and the Beast."
Oh, fine, whatever. Clearly, I don't know my teapots songs.
I
Okay,
I don't even like Beauty and the Beast songs.
okay.
um, um,
Uh, we on
my
third?
number three is Superman.
That's our first samesies then.
All right. Hmm. What did you pull out? I wonder. Because I thought these two were pretty much the top two were pretty much locked in. Interesting. Um. All right. So Superman. Yeah. This one it's hard to place. That's why I placed it at 3 because I think this movie could make a lot of money. It could also do really bad if it's not good.
I don't think it's gonna do really bad. I think higher end if people like it. I think like 700 to 800. If it's okay, I think in like 500. So I think it's a solid pick regardless. I would have picked it for sure, but um, I thought there was higher movies, which we'll get to.
I think Superman has a high ceiling. You know, Man of Steel made $670 million, and I don't think that movie is like fantastic or anything. But also, that's back in the day where people were seeing superhero movies all the time. So,
Yeah,
well, I
now
mean, it's not that people aren't seeing them all the time. It's just that you know,
we get so many of them now. It's a
yeah,
different
yeah.
environment. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm just hoping to see a good Superman movie with that sweet John Williams theme and have a good time. Um, and I just hope James Gunn makes a good movie. I mean, I like James Gunn, and I want to root for James Gunn, and I hope he doesn't let me down.
Okay.
Um,
So we
so
had the same number 3, and my number 2 is How to Train Your Dragon.
okay,
So we kind of already talked about it. So what's your number 2?
my number two is Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, to be honest, I didn't even have it. I don't have it on my list.
All right, interesting. Um. Okay. Okay. So now I know what your number one is, and we're gonna have the same number one then.
Yes.
So your number two is How to Train Your Dragon. Okay. Well, we've already talked about How to Train Your Dragon, so let's talk about Lilo and Stitch. Um. The word of mouth on the movie is good. I haven't seen a lot of people going, "Ugh, we don't need this," other than me. Um. So I just don't think
True.
I don't think that Lilo and Stitch has the nostalgia, the fan base behind it. No one's ever went, "Oh man, Lilo and Stitch is my favorite Disney movie." Nobody. Now,
I th-
people, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, yes, I've heard that, but no one's like, "I love Lilo and Stitch."
I think it's too much tied to Elvis, and I think Elvis has just declined
Yeah,
in popularity like a lot.
because it has
Um,
Elvis music in it.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Elvis music in it, but
Yeah,
I'm not saying like Elvis music is bad. Don't get me wrong, um, but I just I don't know. I think it'll do well. I'm I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I would like to change my list. I won't, but if I had to change, if I could, I would probably put it five. Would be my guess
I mean,
instead of Fantastic.
Do you want to drop off Fantastic Four and put Lilo and Stitch at 5? I'm fine with that.
You're sure if you're gonna let me do it? I forgot about it,
Well,
but
well, the thing is, if it's number one, it doesn't really matter because you have it at
true,
5. So I don't,
true, sure.
if my list looks, more closer, then that's fine.
Okay, all right. See ya,
Um,
Fantastic. Not so fantastic.
yeah, you'd be at your like sixth position, just like me.
Yeah.
If we were doing that, which we're not. Um,
Another thing, I think it comes out before How to Train Your Dragon, and How to Train Your Dragon is going to destroy it. Is what would be my guess. They're both live action thingamabobs. I think How to Train. I told it I have it at number two. I think it's going to do well.
hmm. um, I'm okay with that if it does, because it's not my
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. No, I still, I'm. I think Dad's going to take number three slot. I don't. I'm not too scared of his list, to be honest. So
Yeah, it has a couple weeks after Lilo and Stitch comes out on like the 23rd or something. So there's a couple weeks in between. But I see what you're saying. Um,
mhm. It only really has like How to Train Your Dragon only has to compete with Elio a little bit because I think that comes out after.
yeah,
Um,
the problem with this summer is it's the kind of what I had with a couple summers ago, where I was just expecting everything to hit, and it never everything hits. So what I'm worried about is all these movies are coming out like almost right after each other. And so something's going to take a hit, and I'm hoping it's not the movies that I want to
hopefully
not
it's
take
not
hits.
soups, but it probably gonna be.
I don't think Superman. I was thinking Mission Impossible might get buried by some of these other
Well,
movies.
I think it has its own time. It's got like 2-3 weeks in there before
Yeah.
the next big thing. Superman doesn't. It's like right after like Jurassic, I think. It's like
Yeah.
Jurassic, Superman, Fantastic Four, something like along those lines.
It's Jurassic. Superman comes out the next week, and then there's a couple weeks, and then Fantastic Four. I think I think if Superman is good and people like it, Fantastic Four will be that is worse
Impacted.
for
Yeah.
impacted for
Well,
Fantastic Four.
Superman, I would say Superman and Jurassic, that's the same crowd, buddy boy. That's
I
that's
would
your
say
man
yes,
bringing your girlfriend. That's husband bringing wife. It's the same crowd.
but I also think Jurassic World. I think what you're forgetting about is dinosaurs. And who likes dinosaurs? Little boys.
I'm not saying. I'm not
People
saying.
taking
I think
their
Jurassic's
boys to
gonna
that.
take all the steam out of Superman. That's what I'm saying. I
I
think
think
Jurassic's gonna do well.
I think there'll be a good couple weeks of Jurassic World, but also Jurassic World is a worldwide thing.
True.
But
Superman's
you
more
know,
US, I suppose.
but also Superman is also worldwide. Like everyone knows when people go superheroes, what's the first one they say is Superman. Like Superman, superhero. Like so. I think so. I think there's intrigue behind a Superman. I think there's some of these movies, but something's going to take a hit. You know, I don't know what it is, and also we have to hope that all these movies are good. Now, if all these movies can hit, I mean, that would be a tremendous for the theaters. I'll say that. And I mean, I hope all these movies do well, just because I hope theaters do well. But you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah. So me and your number one is Jurassic World. Is my
Yes. Yeah. We kind of already
so,
talked about it too. So
yeah. I mean,
they always do
Jurassic
well.
World.
It's a safe number one. You don't want to get the number one wrong. We'll see.
I don't. I mean, if you talk to our dad, he thinks Lilo and Stitch is going to be number one movie.
That would so blindside me if that is true. But
he
if
really
he
thinks
calls that, good for him.
Well, he really thinks the word of mouth is like that good, and he's I mean, it's got. I don't know. I'm not. It doesn't. It's my generation, so like, why wouldn't I?
Why would you be attuned with the response? Yeah.
Yeah, like why wouldn't I be excited for it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not like a huge Lilo and Stitch fan. I don't know. I think Stitch people like. I think they think Stitch is cute and stuff, but I just don't think that's the story is strong enough to be like.
It's not Lion King, you know. It's not $1 billion movie off the bat. I don't think Lilo's that crazy.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, and both of our backups would be a Fantastic Four anyway. So,
yeah, we'll just see where these land. That's all that really comes down to.
How it shakes out. You know, who knows? Maybe we're really sleeping on Elio, and it's just a fantastic movie, and it makes $1 billion.
I was thinking about it. It is on my list, but it was very towards the end of when I even picked it. So we'll see.
You know, who knows?
I was hoping like a 400 out of Elio. That's what I was hoping.
Well, I think like what's it called? Elemental, which was the last original Pixar. That movie did pretty well. I think that movie did like $500 million. So, but that was also the year where that summer was kind of a wasteland, and there was like no kids movies.
Yeah, there's plenty,
and they just had weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. That movie just played and played and played and played and played because there was no like a lot of kids movies coming out. This year, there's like a lot of there's like Bad Guys 2 and Smurfs and How to Train Your Dragon, and there's movies you can see with, you could bring the family to. You could bring your family to Jurassic World or Superman or whatever. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up me and Daniel's top 5 summer movie predictions.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you for watching part of the Daniel and Andrew Show. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. If you don't like looking at our faces, no problem. There's always a full audio version of the podcast wherever you find your podcast. Thank you and enjoy.